Okay, Beth, we're live.
Okay, hi. Hey, I'm Beth from Mount San Jacinto College. Welcome everybody who's tuned in. Thank you for coming. You're going to get a lot of great information today. As I say, I'm Beth Bowles from Mount San Jacinto College. Okay.
Hi, Beth. This is Maricela. I'm also in the department outreach, and I work more on the SJC side of campus. And today we're offering this application workshop. And tomorrow, please go ahead and tune in. We will be having an orientation workshop. Well, today is a general presentation, but tomorrow we'll actually
There's a bad echo.
Step by step. Do you want to take over, Beth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I hear an echo, that's where I am being thrown off. Welcome everybody. This is meant to be a general overview of everything MSJC offers. And as I said, I'm Beth from the Outreach Department. I'm joined with my colleagues, Maricela Magana, who's going to moderate, and Sue Ortega is also moderating. I'll go over exactly what we're going to hear today, or what you're going to hear about today, but I'm trying to get rid of this echo. So, not sure how to do that.
You sound good on my end, Beth.
Okay.
You might have, if you have the YouTube link open, Beth, it might have the sound on and you might be hearing yourself that way.
There you go. Thank you.
We'll
I just got rid of that.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks guys. See, that's why I have a co-pilot. I know my two co-pilots. Thank you.
We're learning new things today, guys. Bear with us.
That worked. Okay, so again, thanks for joining me, everybody. This is what you're going to hear about today. Now we got some smooth rolling here. You're going to learn all about MSJC's physical sites, but as you know now that because of the recent health emergency in California, all systems of community colleges are online. There are 115 of them, and we'll talk more about that. I'll introduce to you the MSJC courses and degrees that we offer and certificates, and also transfer opportunities. This is a great place to start your bachelor's degree, and many of our ed plans provide a guaranteed seat for you at the university. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the enrollment process, and also, let you know how to take classes. What classes do I need to take? We'll talk about the understanding of student success and academic support, because there's plenty of support for you as a student, and then also how to gain free admission.
And we welcome any questions through the chat. So feel free to send those over. We will refer to the questions towards the end of the presentation, but we are more than happy to welcome any kind of questions, comments, or concerns.
Yes, please utilize that chat box, and Maricela will help answer those questions, probably toward the end, because I'm probably going to answer a lot of your questions throughout the whole presentation. Thank you, Maricela. And we'll leave the video up. It is being recorded, by the way, and we're going to leave it up on YouTube so that you can visit it again, and please share it with your family and other students or anyone curious about Mount San Jacinto College. Maricela touched on it, but tomorrow night we're doing an application workshop. If you would like help line by line, tomorrow night at the same time, same place, a different link though, and I'll share it again with you at the end. Perhaps Maricela can put it in the chat, but we'll be here at 6 o'clock to walk you line by line through applying to MSJC. So tonight I'll touch on it, but tomorrow night we're going to do the full-on application together if you'd like, or at least get a tutorial on that. Anyway, this is the community college system in California. They're all online now. There are 115 community colleges statewide, and it boggles my mind every time I think about the fact that we serve 2.5 million students. We really do represent the largest system of higher education in the world. So California is a big state. I think that's why we can keep our tuition rates to $46 per unit. Our district is large as well. That's why we're kind of unique in that we have 5 sites when we're able to go to the physical campuses plus a brand new site in Temecula called Temecula Valley Campus. But our students come from all over, but we'll help students through the Beaumont Banning Pass on out to Cabazon and Desert Hot Springs and everywhere down into Fallbrook and Temecula and everywhere in between, Paris, Lake Elsinore, San Jacinto, and Hemet, of course. So I think you're here because you know why college, but let's look at why college. I mean, typically you're less likely to be unemployed if you have a degree. There's great ways to start your bachelor's degree or job training at Mount San Jacinto College, and you're going to increase your income with every degree that you gain and will help you reach your educational goals. And of course, your paycheck should increase with every degree. And there it is, the understanding of higher education in California. There are, as I mentioned, 115 community colleges in the state. It's the 2-year institution where, again, you can get great job training and then get those prerequisites and general ed classes out of the way for transfer to university. We partner with all of them. The Cal States, there are 23. We partner with the UC system, of which there are 10. You've heard of UCLA, right? UC Irvine, UC Riverside. And then we partner with all the private and independent universities for ed plans to get your prerequisites out of the way and transfer very successfully. It's a very common path that you start at community college and then just keep going. And you save a ton of tuition. So our students set up their own schedule. They go at their own pace. You can attend full or part-time. And no, currently, until the health emergency is over, our classes are online. We have 2 semesters, a fall and a spring, and of course a summer semester as well, and late start classes that start a little later into each fall and spring semester. We also offer community education classes and adult education classes. So if you would like classes in the ESL, English as a second language, or if you need to get your GED, or if you're looking for non-college credit classes that are great to build your resume and get job training, we offer that too. And you'll discuss those with our counselors. Know that our classes are daytime, evening, weekend classes. And currently, there's probably a little less than 27,000 students enrolled, but I've been here long enough, about 13 years, to see enrollment go up to 27,000 students, but that's over all 4 campus sites. We have technology and great academic support for your academic goals, and still at $46 per unit. So your tuition is based on however many units you enroll in that semester. And many are going for free because they get the Promise Grant or Promise program. There's 2 fee waivers. They're fee waivers. How would you like full-time tuition, which is about $500 or $600 a semester, full-time, waived entirely? That's a $500 bonus for you. So do your FAFSA fund. We'll touch on financial aid in just a minute. Okay, so the semesters are 18 weeks, and then we have 8 and 6 week summer sessions as well. And again, when we can get back on campus, 4 different campuses to choose from, we will be closing our Temecula site and moving into a brand new building in Temecula that's right by the mall, and the Promenade Mall. Probably by September 2020, it'll be done. But until then, all our classes are online now. So we enjoy all those locations, and that's why we can serve so many students in our district. We have activities and clubs and athletics. Right now, we're still building teams. So if you're interested in being an athlete with MSJC, you can join these teams to compete intercollegiately, right? So there's plenty of PE classes and dance classes and yoga and all kinds of weight training classes and things to satisfy any prerequisites you may need in physical education. But if you'd like to compete on any of our teams, this is what we currently have. And we're expanding programs and building teams ongoing. And if this is your path, this could be your path. Our students become professionals even, but certainly our stats look pretty good. If you'd like to visit the athletics website, they're all there. We're really proud of the awards we've won. Our Lady Eagles basketball team was 2018 state championships and champion rather in 2018. I love to say, come out and see a game. We're not there yet with the health emergency, but it's a lot of fun to come out and see the games too. And as I say, we help them get transfer opportunities, housing, financial aid, and scholarships. So that could be your path as an athlete with MSJC. Right now, we have over 30 active clubs last time I looked. So this is a great way to build your resume as well and get involved in student government. So student life and development, they're the students that plan events on campus. When we're on campus, we have barbecues and activities, but the clubs are meeting now. And we'll pick it up again in fall virtually if we're still in the health emergency. So the clubs do a lot of great things for the students. They get them leadership opportunities. Ceramics Club sells a lot of great, beautiful art to raise money. So there's lots of ways to get involved and stay active. Sure, you could go to class, right, and go home, but stick around when you're on campus and get involved with clubs and student activities. It all starts with Student Government Association, or SGA. So if you're in high school and you're in student government, like they call it ASB, you can still continue those careers at MSJC. We need you to represent the interests of the students. So run for office or join a club or get involved with student government. So to circle back about our degrees, there's about 24 Associate of Art degrees, Associate of Science degrees. Do we give you your bachelor's degree? Nope, but we give you the first 2 years of that degree with those associate degrees, depending upon what your major is. It's an AA or an AS. And it is 60 units, so you accumulate 60 units of credit to be awarded your associate's degree. And I like to tell students to not ignore this great certificate programs, and I'll outline some in a minute, to build your resume and career, to get career training. So certificates are a little less. Some of the nursing certificates are more, about 20, 24 units. So you see the difference in units, but they're all great degrees. And, you know, we frame those proudly and walk for graduation and put those degrees on our wall and get jobs. We have a full-time job developer. So we place you in jobs in these degree programs as well. And then, of course, as I mentioned, those transfer opportunities. Meet with an MSJC counselor to develop an ed plan. So they're going to want to know, what do you think you're interested in? And many of us don't know what we want to major in when we get started. That's fine. You have time to figure it out. It's not set in stone when you apply to the college, but the counselors will help you every step of the way. Even after you enroll ongoing, you should meet with a counselor every semester if you're interested. And we're doing that virtually right now through Cranium Cafe. So it's online counseling. They're always available, and we'll show you an orientation after you apply how to meet with a counselor. Look for this logo to learn about ed plans that guarantee you a seat in some very competitive majors and at some very impacted universities. In other words, these universities are saying, we agree with what you're doing at the community college at MSJC. Now we'll guarantee you a seat in this major. So you've completed successfully your 60 transferable units with a good GPA, and we have a ton of academic support, so you're going to be amazing. Let's talk about how to get started at the college, okay? So all new students need to complete three things to get a registration appointment and be an MSJC student. So new Eagles all apply online. It's a free online application for admission. Then the student, once they submit that application, will get an email within minutes with their student ID number, their MSJC username and student ID number, and an activation code so that you can set up your Eagle Advisor portal and do the online orientation at Eagle Advisor. So when you do the online application, you self-report in what math and English class you were just in and what your grades were. And that's how we place you in math and English. I don't know if anyone's been around long enough to remember we used to have assessment exams. We don't have those anymore. So once you apply to MSJC, you're an Eagle, and then you meet with a counselor to continue those discussions about English and math. Boy, if we can save you a semester, great, because we do offer some remedial math and English, but you know that you're going to be here an extra semester. So have those conversations with an MSJC counselor. And you'll learn more about, you know, we've learned who you are because you've applied, right? You are going to do an online orientation, so you learn who MSJC is and how to do an online orientation. Once you complete that, we generate a registration appointment for you. You register online at that same Eagle Advisor portal. Meet with a counselor for your ed plan through Cranium Cafe. That's our virtual counseling portal. And then, of course, submit your FAFSA. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's not mandatory, but everybody does a FAFSA because it's free. You can see you must be eligible. You must do the FAFSA to be eligible for any of the financial aid grants or fee waivers. So again, it's a free application for federal student aid, and guess what? We'll help you with that online too. Okay, you're going to learn about how to reach out for help in just a minute. So please ask questions in the chat about this process and we will circle back, but that's it in a nutshell. Okay, we are here virtually to help you. We have a welcome center when we're physically on campus, but that welcome center is online right now at the outreach email address, which I'll provide for you at the end. And there's plenty of help from college ambassadors, students that we train, or myself. I will help you every step of the way with every part of the enrollment process. We are in a different world, but we're still here to help you every bit of the way. I like to drive it home to students. I'm not going to get too crazy here, but there it is again. Register for classes in June or July. I think it's July, seniors or brand new students. So you have the summer to meet with a counselor, get that ed plan, get all your ducks in a row, buy your books and go to class. You must pay for classes within 4 days of registering, by the way, or make sure your financial aid file is sort of the status is in check. Check the status of your financial aid so that you know whether you have to pay out of pocket for classes. But most of us get that fee waiver. 2 of 3 students in the state of California get the California fee waiver, which is now called the Promise Grant. Okay. All right. So I always tell new students about this. Slides jumbled, but by the end of May, do all these steps so that you know when to register. You have to log into Eagle Advisor to see when your personal registration appointment is, and you can register on or after the date we give you. So don't miss that. All right, you're going to be awesome. And that's what that little lightning bolt is for. I didn't know the slide was still in here. Okay, let's talk about our programs, our different majors. If you go to msjc.edu/programs, you can read more about them in depth there at our website, but I like to highlight a few here in this presentation. We have a very active music and dance theater program. One of the more popular majors is administration of justice, where anyone that's involved in cybersecurity, very popular major and program. Pre-law, paralegal work, border patrol, police officer, pre-law, anything that's under the umbrella of administration of justice. And then our music program is, there's an audio technology program and digital arts program. So you may learn to utilize or manipulate those electronic music files, produce your own CD. We have a Grammy nominee out of the audio technology program for his work on a spoken word CD. So you're learning real world skills and the software and the technology that's out there right now. So you can jump right into jobs. And we partner with employers all over our district that tell us what we should be teaching our students so that they can hire our students. So you may learn to use that soundboard like at the concerts there's all kinds of jobs. So you'll learn about those even when you take class. MSJC has a highly respected registered nursing program that is ranked 11th in the state out of 160 nursing schools. So that's very impressive ranking. We're very proud of our allied health department, which continues to also have high pass rates in the state exam. So RNs, okay, we need you now, boy, more than ever, are getting their degree at $46 per unit at MSJC and landing right into jobs. You do your clinicals at the local hospitals. And not only that, we have a nursing assistant program, EMT program, diagnostic sonography program, which is ultrasound. So please inquire about these programs and we'll guide you to the website or to that counseling appointment and you can discuss and see if it's for you. You can always just apply to the college to get that counseling appointment and meet with us to get those ed plans. We also offer classes, anything to do with computers, networking, programming, cybersecurity, as I say, web design. It's endless. So those majors are very popular and not going away, and we need good students out of those programs. Graphic arts, the local water districts hire our students, and of course, fire technology. And GIS is, you have GIS, GPS in your cars, right? And on your phone. GIS is those digital mapping majors and database management majors. So those are just some ideas for you to think about and where some jobs are. We have a beautiful child development center currently at just the San Jacinto campus, but maybe you're interested in being a teacher. Many of your teachers started at a community college. and it's now called TEDS, or Teacher Education Department Training. I forget what TED stands for, but it's Teacher Education programs and degrees. Our business department, there's a 2+2 program, folks, where you can start with MSJC and with Cal State San Marcos in their Temecula campus. So it's not down in San Marcos, it's really local. Right now it's online, you can't beat that. So 2 years with us, 2 years with Cal State San Marcos in business administration, and you're guaranteed your degree in business in 4 years. That's a very impacted major. My daughter's at Cal State Fullerton now, and she's going to be there an extra year or two to get through her business degree. So ask about those ed plans with our counselors. This guaranteed seating and those guaranteed degrees in 4 years, that's fabulous. We have a wonderful automotive program. So you're learning about cars that are on the road now. Many of them are so computerized, right? You're not a mechanic anymore, which is not a bad thing, but you're a technician. So that's a very popular major as well. Keep your questions coming if you have questions about any of those majors, but know that the community college is just such a great bargain for education, quality education, where faculty, many of them are PhDs in their field, they're experts in their field, and they're at community college at MSJC because they love students. So you're going to get some great quality education from our college. I like to show sample occupations and salaries. Now, naturally, salaries are going to vary depending on where you end up working, but right out of college, to start as sort of a digital media technician at 50, 60 grand a year, because you've built a portfolio using, the software that's industry standard and project-driven classes, real-world skills from MSJC. Take one class and see what you think, and you'll find your way. Just get that degree. As I mentioned earlier, you'll be more likely to be employed, right? If you get that degree. All right. So just to circle back, we get you transfer ready. So your high schools are getting them college ready, and they slide right into college level classes. They don't waste any time. They can even take classes in high school tuition free and get college and high school credit. And we're going to talk about concurrent enrollment right now as well. But we get you transfer ready, and they save room for our transfer students. All the universities, they know you're coming, they save room for you, especially for those guaranteed seats, these associate degrees for transfer with a guarantee. At the UC system, those guaranteed seats are called TAG agreements, transfer admission guarantee programs. Okay, you actually gain another degree called an AAT or AST, depending on your major. So those are those guaranteed seats, and they work. I've seen so many students, and both my daughters follow those ed plans and slide right into some very impacted majors, and it put them over the edge, let's say that. And it's really just not that difficult. You're just following a specific ed plan that the counselors give you. Now, those ed plans are called, they have long names. CSU transfer pattern, it's called option B. Okay, you'll learn what these are in those counseling meetings. The IGETC is a transfer pattern for the UC system, which also covers the transfer options, the classes that satisfy the transfer requirements to the private and independent universities. Okay, so don't be shy. Meet with a counselor virtually now to develop that ed plan through Cranium Cafe once you've applied to the college. And here's just a comparison on tuition. It is $46 per unit. So I sat down one day and did the math. It's 60 units to transfer, 60, sometimes a little, maybe 65 or a little more, depending on your major. That's about $3,000 for your associate degree. It's $3,000 a semester at the Cal State. I know because my daughter's there now. So there's your savings for the very same degree, folks. Your very same prerequisites in the first 2 years of your bachelor's degree at university are going to be the same that you can get out of the way at community college. All right, I'll let you simmer on that a minute. I'm going to take a sip of water. So these are just some of the more popular universities that folks are transferring to. They really do go all over. It used to be you'd have to go to Santa Monica City College to go to UCLA. It's not like that. Our students go up to Berkeley, they go up to UCLA, they go down into San Diego, they go down to San Marcos at Cal State San Marcos, very popular. And they go all over, but Cal State Fullerton is another very popular university. So explore those ed plans and those options. We have these university reps visit MSJC when we're physically there. They'll set up a table in the Career Center. When we get back to being a physical campus, we'll have the reps at our college fairs, but we're going to do some virtual college fairs and virtual visits with the reps. So visit you'll get emails about these, and when you're a student, and visit the Career Center's website at the MSJC website to learn about those. That's coming up. We're coming up with so much great digital, virtual programming for you so that we can just keep moving without skipping a beat. I'm so proud of our college and how we've moved forward in this emergency. Just know this is a reality. It's a very common path to start at community college and end up at the university with quite a savings in tuition. You know, some families, and they only have 2 years of loans instead of 4. So it's everybody's different, or you get those fee waivers and financial aid, and that financial aid continues at the university. If you do your FAFSA, you renew your FAFSA every year that you're in college. Okay, so I hope I've kind of got your wheels turning. We have so many success stories, and I just like to outline a couple here. Even the guy who retiled my bathroom said that his son went to MSJC to get the classes he needed to transfer to Berkeley, and he did an internship with Google, and now he works for Google in Anaheim, making, I'm sure, 6 digits, you know, and he's not even 30. So it's not Kabir, but this is another student that ended up at Google. And our students win awards in different film festivals and things, so where you have a chance to showcase your talent and your skills that you're going to need at MSJC. And we even have a student that did some work for NASA. So our students go all over the place. And community college students all over the state of California. There's doing some great work at those institutions. I heard that the very beginnings of the automated cars were started at a community college down in San Diego. So yay, California. You never know where your degree is going to take you, folks. I'm a fan of Figure's studio. He's a graduate of MSJC's art department, and he is a local tattoo artist and graffiti artist. This mural is a beautiful mural that is hanging in our beautiful conference room in Menifee. So Arturo Morfin is a proud MSJC student. He is standing on the movie set of It. I think the third It. There's 4 of them or something. It's not the first one, it's the second one. But anyway, he got his degree from MSJC. It's a certificate now that was job training in golf course turf management. And he ended up being chosen to design the landscaping for that movie. So, you know, you never know where you're going to end up with your degree. And I got to tell you, our RNs don't always end up just in the hospitals. They work on cruise ships. They work in the movie sets. They work all over the place. So you can take that degree, and it's what you do with it that counts. And we will help you find those jobs. We have, as I say, internships and job placement for all of our degrees. All right. We'll even help you sort of write the resume, right, and the cover letter, and learn those soft skills you need for those job interviews. Now, we have enhancements to transferring, which include the Honors Enrichment Program. And they are actively recruited from these programs, and it's an inside track of scholarships as well. The advisors for these programs will help you find transfer opportunities and scholarships. And it really does, I think you go to the top of the pile for those college applications when you have these things on your college application. PTK is the International Honor Society of the 2-year college for students that are invited. Again, great opportunity for leadership skills and to build a resume and to be able to put that on your resume, and an inside track to scholarships as well. And the people that you meet in these clubs and these organizations are lifelong friends. You will be able to network and learn what other students are doing to find jobs and opportunities and transfer opportunities. And I've already talked several times about these transfer admission guarantee programs, so don't forget to ask your counselors about those. Keep your questions coming. I'll keep moving along because I want to be able to answer those, but also I would be remiss if I did not tell you about our counseling services and academic support. I touched on counseling already. They'll meet with you as soon as you apply to college, and even meet with you for personal counseling. There's programs that will help you plan your career and transfer out. Our Career and Transfer Center helps you find jobs on and off campus, right? So we have on-campus jobs. I'll talk about more of that in a minute. Meet with our counselors virtually at Cranium Cafe. And then our accommodations department, formerly Disabled Students Program, but now we call it the ASC department, will help students with IEPs or 504s come in to us. Or if you're that student that has a physical or learning disability, there's a ton of resources for you. There's software that will take notes for you. There's all kinds of great software and accommodations, but you need to learn how to request those and provide us with that doctor's note or psych report or your IEP before the semester starts. And not only will you get accommodations, but the state mandates you get priority registration. So you're going to get all those classes. And then there are other arms of financial aid. One is called EOP&S and in the Cooperative Agencies Resource for Educational Care Program. EOP&S and CARE are kind of partnered together. It's just another arm of financial aid for those that are income eligible. Our single parents are getting the support they need to complete their degree through the CARE program. The EOP&S program is typically for income eligible, so that's another reason to do your FAFSA to see if you can get support from some of these other programs, okay? And we'll guide you to how to find those as well. And so that's, again, that onboarding process, when you meet with a counselor, make notes and say, hey, somebody told me about this CARE program or EOP or accommodations. What is that about? Okay, so I hope you're taking notes. And then there's on-campus jobs when we're on campus, but our college mentors, they're called, our college ambassadors, are helping brand new students, even now virtually. I get the email and I send them out to my students, or I will answer the questions. I've been doing this a long time, and if I don't know the answer, I'll make it up. I mean, no, I will find the answer for you. Okay. So their work study positions, back to the college mentors or college ambassadors, there are other on-campus jobs too when we get back to campus, but certainly even when we're not on campus, there may be other jobs that you can get that help pay for college. It's typically a part of your financial aid award. So again, do your FAFSA and check that box that says, I'm interested in on-campus jobs for a federal work study. We'll see if the budget cooperates in the state of California and we can keep those financial aid or federal work study awards going. And then there's definitely a pathway for foster youth. You are going to, again, self-report on the online application. So speak up if that's you. You get priority registration as well and a lot of extra guidance, okay? So there's, the state of California does a great job providing student services and academic support. And I gotta tell you, you can't walk across when we used to walk across campus or show up to our virtual meetings and not ask if you need help. Are you good? Do you know what your next steps are? Okay, hopefully you should get those kinds of questions. Thank you. The other thing I would encourage everyone to apply for, it's free, is the first year experience if you're a first year college student. So if you went to another college, not MSJC, you aren't eligible for FYE, but if you're a brand new college student, if you're right out of high school, even if you took classes with MSJC at high school, you're eligible for the first year experience. Such a great program that gives you extra guidance, your own counselor, early registration, and summer bridge programs. It really helps you get a solid start on your first year of college. We understand that first year students are challenged. Like, they got to really learn how to be a college student, am I right? So please explore applying to the FYE program. As soon as you've done the online application and gotten an MSJC ID number, you can click on this link and it's easy, msjc.edu/FYE. And it's about 5 lines of a dialog box that you fill in, including your MSJC ID number. And then you get an email back that tells you what to do next to be part of the program. It's well worth it. If you don't think it's for you, then oh well, but I would definitely take advantage of it. You must promise to enroll in your math and English classes the first 2 semesters. And it's again, just for your own success. It gets you a solid start in your college degree and experience, frankly. So you'll learn some great college workshops, how to study, get some transfer planning and that kind of thing. So please explore FYE. It's a great program.
And if I may chime in, Beth,
Yes.
It's coming up, the summer bridge program.
Yes.
It's moving virtually due to COVID-19. So the dates of those workshops are coming up. So for example, the first workshop would be on Monday, June 22nd and Tuesday, June 23rd. And they have various morning sessions. from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. that you can join, as well as afternoon sessions from 1 to 4. And this program, like Beth mentioned, it's super important for those first year college students in order for them to have a smooth transition. So because that is coming up, I strongly encourage all students to go ahead and visit the website msjc.edu/FYE, and then you register for this on Eventbrite, and then you go ahead and join virtually. So it's really that easy, but it's really that important and critical, I feel, for our first year college students.
I agree. A lot of extra great support. So it is coming up. May snuck up on us. We're already on May. It's not too late, but it is coming up. And I know that summer kind of goes by and days are melting into the next. And I would just explore it maybe even tonight after you get off. Okay. After you get off this. Don't do it now. Hang on. We got more. We're almost done. And really want to outline another very important resource for students. Do you know there's free tutoring at MSJC in most subjects? And we've gone virtual with that tutoring. I just got the word on it, and the link is right here. But typically at the Menifee campus, this is our library, and upstairs on this slide is the library, and downstairs is the Learning Resource Center, and our makerspace is in this building. So our makerspace, I'm so proud of them. We have 3D printers lining the walls of that makerspace, and some very dedicated staff worked through this emergency making face masks on those 3D printers for our nurses and the hospitals, because as you know, we were short of all those protective devices, and they were making those plastic masks, and I think continued to do that. So this is just, again, the great work that the community college does for our community, including offer you free tutoring. So you'll log in through Canvas, which is a shell for your classes. Even when we are on campus, we had online classes. So I want you to feel empowered that you can do this online thing. It's not as hard as you imagine it to be. And there's so much help there. We work in teams, and our instructors are being really patient with you to learn if that's a new learning style for you. But know that there's drop-in online, no appointments in most subjects. Some of it is faculty tutoring and some of it is student peer tutoring. And guess what? It's there at 10 at night. So if you're a night owl doing your work, you can get help. When our campus is open, you can work at our computers to do the research you need. You can use our library and our online library facility as well, but certainly you can print out things at the campus when you're there. When we're back, we'll get to all that. So we provide resources and handouts. Like if you need to know how to start that paper or how to format it, the help is there all virtually, and it's all free to you as an MSJC student. So when you get to our online tutoring, ask them, how do I set up my essay? And they'll help you with that. So the Writing Center is still there virtually. The Math Center is there, and we'll be there again in person when we're back on campus. But in the meantime, again, it's all virtual and free to you as an MSJC student. So don't be shy about, we all get help. Have somebody look at your essay. Let us look at it and see if it's grammatically correct. We'll do that for you before you turn it in. And then you learn something that way too. So I think I covered academic support. Take advantage of that. But let's talk a little bit about financial aid, and then we'll take some questions. Again, I can't thank you enough for showing up. I applaud you for getting the information, boy, because it's here, and this is why we're offering these things. So financial aid, who goes for free? All right, so it's income eligibility, and you don't know, whether you get any financial aid until you do your FAFSA. The FAFSA is a free application. It's not MSJC's application, it's a federal application that is free, and you should renew it every year you're enrolled in college. So the FAFSA stands for Federal Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And it is at the FAFSA website. And I guess if I put my glasses on, I could find it right here at fafsa.ed.gov. It opens October 1st, which is kind of weird. But so if, this fall, even after you start your fall semester at MSJC, in October, you'll renew your FAFSA. And again, there's plenty of help on campus to do that. But you want to have done it if you're going to start this fall. It's not too late to do it, but you could have opened it and started it in October of 19 for the 2021 academic year. So you apply every year you're enrolled to see what financial aid you are eligible for. Our dreamers can still do it too. It's called the DREAM Act. It's basically the financial aid form for those undocumented students as well. So both are available. The priority consideration for financial aid is March 2nd, but it's not too late for MSJC. If you do it after March 2nd, you're still eligible for our fee waiver, the Promise Grant and Promise programs. But the early bird gets the worm, so to speak. So do it early, and we'll help you with it if you need help. As I say, priority consideration, you might as well do it by the March 2nd deadline so that you also get the California grant funds. Cal Grant, there are thousands. It's based on your GPA. The higher your GPA, the more money you get. So, which brings me to another thought. Do you need a high school diploma to enter MSJC? And do you need a high school GPA to be our student? No. As long as you're 18, you can take classes. Now get your high school diploma if you're out there, kids, do that and finish with good grades and finish strong so that you're successful in college and are eligible for the higher award amounts for scholarships and for these grants. But it's like a fresh start at MSJC. I was that goofball that didn't do what she should have done to start university right out of high school, but I still got there via the community college system, okay? So it was like a fresh start for me, and that can be your pathway as well. So the community college offers the Promise Grant and the Promise program. They're both fee waivers. You have to see if you're eligible by doing your FAFSA. There are other criteria to meet for the Promise program, which is to be part of the FYE program, do your FAFSA early. When you apply to MSJC, use your social security number. Have that ready because the two things won't match. And put MSJC's federal school code on your FAFSA. This isn't a FAFSA workshop, so I didn't provide it here, but it'll allow you to search for it when you do your FAFSA. And I could have put it on the slide here, but I spaced it, sorry. So those are my hot tips, so to speak, to making sure things match up, okay? And there's also private sources of aid, scholarships. We'll help you find the scholarships, okay? There's tons of scholarships out there. They're all online scholarships, and you'll be surprised at what's out there for your education. I don't want any student to feel like, oh, I can't afford college. There's no money for college, because there really is. We'll help you find it. And then if you get that, bonus, $500 every semester if you go full time, you've saved $3,000. You've gone to community college for free if you get the fee waiver, okay? Now, your situation changes every year, and so does the federal government. So that's why we renew our FAFSA every year you're enrolled in college. Even when you go on to the university, you can continue to do your FAFSA. As I say, it's not mandatory, but we all do it, so do it. And then check the box if you're interested in any work study programs. That way, you're not accepting a job on campus by checking the box. You're just saying, I'm interested. So send me an informational email if I'm eligible for funding for on-campus jobs, okay? You'll get those emails and be able to look for a job on campus. Anything else you want to talk about, Maricela, for financial aid?
No, I believe you covered it, but definitely I want to emphasize the fact that if you are worried about funding your college education, it's always worth it. There will be a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. And we'll help you with that FAFSA too. As I say, we'll invite you to some other workshops. This is meant to be just a general overview, so fling us your questions. And these on-campus jobs, by the way, this is the one I happen to coordinate through the outreach department, of which I'm a part of. And I won't go too into detail, but really builds a resume. What a nice little resume builder that one of your first jobs was working at MSJC. And many of our students get hired by the college to work later with us in other departments. All right, so for opportunity, for some service-oriented students and leadership skills as well. So let's talk about concurrent enrollment and then take your questions because we're coming up on it. This is like a college lecture. You guys have been doing great. So I turned my little alarm off because that will be disruptive. But students get college credit while they're in high school. So tell your younger siblings, seniors, it's probably, well, yeah, it's almost too late for you guys, but your younger siblings or your students can take college classes while they're in high school, tuition free. So we don't charge the $46 per unit fee. The classes are taught, some of them at your high school, which is through another program called dual enrollment. And it does require a pre-approval process. So you need to complete the school parent agreement form and official or sealed transcripts. They'll take unofficials now because you have to scan them in and are uploading at our hub. But your high schools are very familiar with this process, and you meet the criteria. We like a 3.0 student for this program. We like 11th and 12th graders, but 9th and 10th graders can also do this program if they're pre-approved. And the key is just to get pre-approved before the semester starts. You can take a class in summer, or if you have room in your spring or fall semesters in high school, you can knock out some credits at college. One of the caveats, not only is it, tuition free, you pay for books and materials and any testing fees, but of which there are little. I think there's a guidance class that charges a testing fee. This is the true college class. It's not AP. You don't have to pass the test that they charge you $90 for at the end of the class with a 3 or 4 or better. This is a true college class. You start your college transcripts with this program, and then it's 1 or 2 less classes now that you have to take no matter where you go to college. Am I right? So this transcripts go with you. So if you don't, I hope you make MSJC your choice. But if you go on to another school or university, now you've come with some classes that are already done. You don't have to take them again, and it's for college credit. You save some time and money with this program. So this program's been around for years. And I have students all the time saying, I wish I knew about it. So I'm sorry if you missed out on it, but it's a great way to get some college credits done while you're in high school. Visit this website. I don't know why that didn't come up, as a link, but if you go to msjc.edu and go to enrollment and then click on high school students, the school parent agreement form can be downloaded there. And it has to be signed by the parent and the principal, submitted before the semester starts with a list of classes you think you want to take. And just mention, it's going to ask you, why do you want to do this program? And all you have to say is, I want to get a head start on my college career. So that's something to think about. It's a great way to get ahead that way. And then with that, we'll take your questions. I hope I didn't put too many of you asleep, and that my raspy voice hung in there with you. Please utilize these links to ask me more questions beyond tonight. Visit us on social media, of course. And we've even got a TikTok challenge up for our new students. And let's take some questions. Were there any questions, Marisela?
Hi, Beth.
Or Susie. Yes,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So I think you touched up on this, but Seth asked how to get free tuition.
You must do your FAFSA. Okay, that's how to do it. That you'll know before you register for class the status of your financial aid with MSJC. So that's one of the little check boxes you want to do on your list of things to do as a new student, is to, currently we're virtually, so you'll email the financial aid office or check your Student Eagle Advisor portal for the status of your financial aid packet. And see if you got the fee waiver, that's free tuition. So there's 2 ways. Through the Promise Grant and Promise Program, they're both fee waivers. And the way you know if you're eligible is to do your FAFSA. So does that answer it? Marisela, Susie?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Seth, if you have any additional questions, feel free to type them if we didn't completely answer for you, okay?
Thank you.
So the next question here is, how do I apply for graduation?
So you would do that through the Enrollment Services Office. Please go to msjc.edu/hub, HUB. And there's a full resource there of all the departments. You would pull the drop-down menu down for enrollment services and be able to ask that question there. It's a form, I'm quite sure, that you fill out, and they'll answer with a reply on where that form is and how to upload it to our website. Any other answer better than that, Susie? Susie Ortega.
I think that's good. Yeah. Enrollment services can definitely help you out with that process. So the next question we have here is, the fall semester for sure going to be online?
It's looking like that, yes. Now, these are mandates not from our college, but the health department. They said, you got to close your doors. We want to protect our community. We want to protect our students. We don't want you getting sick. We don't want our faculty getting sick. The way this virus was acting, it could have wiped everybody out, so not to be grim, but it was just too important to go online. And we did turn on a dime and put 99% of our classes online. And it's looking like in today's meetings, all the meetings we have every week, that fall will be online. And just keep an eye on the website, keep those meetings with counselors so that you get the latest news. If you go to msjc.edu, the banner at the top, big COVID announcements, it's all there. And you can even email specifically us at a COVID email address, which, Maricela, do you remember what it is? Is it covid@msjc.edu, I think?
I think it might be COVID-19. I'll type it in the chat for you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, so keep those questions coming. That's my update, but it's all about how this virus cooperates. You know, it's not up to me or the college, it's the governor who and the health department. So I'm pretty sure, you know, but we'll get there. We'll see what spring offers, you know, who knows?
Okay, next is a lot of students want to know how to make an appointment with a counselor.
Okay, so once you apply to MSJC, you're going to get a student ID number and be able to log into your college portal, which we call, because we're Eagles, Eagle Advisor. That's where you do everything as a college student, folks. It's where you make an appointment with a counselor. It's where you activate your student email. It's where you register and pay for classes. Okay, so and more. You can check the status of your financial aid, etc. So it's all done there. You'll learn about that when you do MSJC's online orientation. But to make a counseling appointment, you go to msjc.edu and then look for the Canvas logo, which is off to the right below Eagle Advisor. And there's 2 ways to log in. We'll cover this again in tomorrow's workshop. But yeah, you'll go to Cranium Cafe through Canvas. So I don't want to confuse you, but those are just ways in. The portal for a student is Eagle Advisor or Canvas, and then you look for the Cranium Cafe logo and make an appointment there. Maybe I can show a video of how to do that too, but let's take the next question. Does that help?
Yeah, I think that's good. I also linked the counseling website. So once you have your student ID number, there is a link on the main counseling page that says make an appointment with a live appointment with a counselor. So you can click on that link and make an appointment from there too.
Perfect. Copy and paste those links into your notes on your computer, or take a snap, screenshot of it, or take a picture of it with your phone. But thank you for that. I'm hesitant to click out of this and go to the website because I'm a little new at all this. So thank you.
No
I guess
problem.
It's not going to blow up. I should just go for it. Anyway, thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome. Let me scroll down the list here and see if there's any more. Counselor. Okay. This person asked, if you qualify for financial aid, will taking a class this summer qualify, or just the fall full-time semester?
Now, that's a great question. You will qualify if you do the right FAFSA. So when you go to the FAFSA website, it's going to say which FAFSA do you want to do, the 1920, the 2021. So if you do the right FAFSA, you'll see if you get, it's a little funny for students right out of high school. If you don't do the right FAFSA, you may have to pay out of pocket for classes in summer, but beyond that, then it'll cover summer. I'm not a financial aid guru, but Suzanne, do you have a better answer than that?
I'd agree with what you said, Beth. It's per semester, so, and it goes academic year. So it just depends which application you've submitted. If you've already submitted for that academic year, then it'll be included in your package. It may or may not be included in your package depending on what you qualify for. So you have to fill out that FAFSA.
Yeah, that's how you know. And if you do it for the right academic year, then you will likely get, you'll see if you're eligible. But if you don't apply for that semester, then they don't know you want financial aid for summer 2020. You know what I mean? So good question. And look, the financial aid website at our MSJC website, go to that hub, click on financial aid. They have so many little videos, financial aid TV, they call it. And there's a lot of questions that can be answered there. It really is a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to do all this, but the help is there. You can even email financial aid and ask that question, see if you get a better answer. But I'm quite sure that's the way to qualify for financial aid, is do your FAFSA and do it for the right semester. Thank you.
Exactly. Okay. Dana has a question. My son already registered, but he didn't write which math and English classes he took. How do I get that info to MSJC now?
He already registered for class.
She already, I think she means applied.
So on your son, when they applied, your student applied to MSJC, they self-reported and they are asked in the online application, it's more like a survey really, what math and English class did you take and what were your grades and what was your GPA? And they're only asking that, as I said, it's not for admission, it's for placement in math and English. So he self-reported. Now, if he doesn't feel comfortable with that answer, you got to continue those conversations with a counselor. So that's a counseling appointment. And we want to help him save a semester or challenge it, right? So you can challenge those placements. If you think the class is too hard or too easy, we want to know. And that's the counselors can approve you to get into a different segment for that pathway through your English requirements and math requirements. I hope that answered your question, but the key is counseling. Again, and I tell students this all the time, I'll tell it tomorrow night when you go through the application workshop, those questions are not set in stone. You're just a guide, it's a guidance to placing you in math and English. Please continue those conversations with the academic counselor at MSJC.
Yes, and you should be meeting with your counselor at least once a semester, just to keep up with your ed plan. So just make sure you always schedule those meetings with your counselor.
Yeah, and even your major might change, you know, and if you change it early enough, you don't have to take any extra classes and you'll keep going smooth sailing and transfer right into university if that's your goal or get your degree. Thank you.
Okay, next question. So Catherine says that she already applied to MSJC and has her student ID, and she wants to know what happens after she meets with the counselor. What happens next after that?
Okay, so Catherine, is it?
Yes.
This is important. So you did your application, you got your ID, you've got to set up your online Eagle Advisor portal and complete the online orientation. And after that, we will generate a registration appointment for you. And for fall, it will post in about June, early June. They haven't told me yet, but it's usually about June, and you'll register for classes on or after the date that we generate for you, probably sometime in July. So for fall, you have time. We're registering students right now. Students are registering themselves, I should say, for summer right now, because summer starts June 1st. So the next step is to meet with that counselor and do the online orientation if you haven't done that. And then it's on the student, on you, Catherine, to log into that same Eagle Advisor portal where you did the online orientation. And there's a link right above that that says, when is my registration appointment? And that's what you need to click on to find out when you register for class. If it says there's a hold because you didn't do orientation, then you got to just whip through that, and it's easy peasy. You put your earbuds in and you listen to online orientation, you answer a couple quiz questions, and you're done. So that's the next step. When you meet with a counselor, keep asking those questions and make sure they tell you what to do next. I love that question. When we were physically in our welcome center before the student left, I said, do you know what to do next? And they felt confident. You also want to activate your student email and check your financial aid status. And it's all there at that hub or at your Eagle Advisor hub. I feel like I forgot part of that question, or did I cover all of it, Suzanne?
I think you got it all. I think she was just wondering, so in your counseling appointment, your first counseling appointment, they'll make an ed plan with you based on, you know, what major you want, or if you don't know, then they'll still help you out with an ed plan and plan if you don't know your major yet, they'll at least plan your first semester, right? So then, like Beth said, you'll go into Eagle Advisor afterwards, find out your registration date, and then register for whatever classes they have helped you pick as part of your first semester. So, and your counselor's there for you every step of the way. So just keep in communication with them. They're really key in helping you complete all your goals and keep on task throughout your educational career at MSJC.
Yes, good point. And know that by then you will have looked at the schedule of classes, because you're in the driver's seat. You'll circle the classes you think you want to take, and then you'll get on wait lists. And you do all of this at Eagle Advisor. There's a link there that says search and register for classes. And counseling will likely pair you with a college ambassador just to show you those fun little videos and show you how to do all that stuff. As a brand new student, because it's like, what? How do I navigate the website? We're there to help you. And you register yourself in classes by clicking the link. There's a link there. It says search and register for classes. Now pay for the class unless you got the fee waiver. And so it's kind of a lot of organizational. You'll learn about doing that in online orientation and time management, and then how to navigate our website. Good
And
stuff.
that's another good part of joining FYE. If you join FYE, they'll help walk you through all those things. You get paired up with an FYE mentor that you can contact with any questions you have. When we were physically on campus, we would have registration workshops because all FYE students get priority registration. So those are some benefits of joining the FYE program.
We're coming up on 7 o'clock. This was designed to be an hour workshop. I'm happy to stick around and answer a few more questions.
Okay, we have a couple more here.
Please do. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I want to thank you for joining us and keep going. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next, if I'm still in high school, how do I say my final grade for a class if I have not finished?
Oh, you know, most high school students have access to their sort of Aries account or portal where they can look at their transcripts. If you want to just state your grade you got in your last math class from last semester, or if you're doing really great, I certainly give yourself a B or an A, or give yourself a passing grade. They just want an estimate. I mentioned this before, I'll mention it again. It's not set in stone. You can continue that conversation with a counselor at MSJC and say, hey, I ended up getting an A in that calculus class, and then we'll place you in the right math class, right? So that's a great question. Don't worry about it. Just get as close as you can to what you think you're going to get when you finally graduate, and you'll be good. Just put something down.
Yeah, from my understanding, the grades for most high schools will remain the same. Grades shouldn't drop. So whatever is being reflected now should be the grade that you will be receiving for your class unless you have the option to improve it. But as far as from what I've understood is that your grade can't drop at this point.
Because of the health emergency, the way they're grading. Yeah, so that's a good thing too. So,
I've heard the same.
Yeah, don't sweat it. Really, what we're trying to do is so that you're successful, so that you take a class that isn't too hard or too easy. That's the reason they ask you that. So it's a good question.
Just for placement purposes.
Okay, so next question. Nayeli asks, what does it mean if I don't have a registration date?
That you either didn't do the online orientation or there's some other hold. I don't know who you are, if you're right out of high school or if you went to another college. If you went to another college and came to us, sometimes they ask you for transcripts so that they can give you a reg date. There's different holds. So that's the important reason I said it's important to set up your Eagle Advisor account once you apply. And we send you an email. It says, here's how to get on Eagle Advisor and set it up. There's an activation code. You create a password, log in. And if it either hasn't been posted yet, okay, the fall dates haven't been posted yet. They will show up about July for fall registration, June or July. So I don't know if you want to type in what semester you're, but beyond that, please email enrollment or email me that question. Just call us right away and say, I don't have a reg date. And there's usually a really good reason. It's maybe on our part. It rarely is it. It's just something that the student hasn't completed from their checklist, like the online orientation. Because that's really all that's required of getting a registration appointment with us is that you do the online application, do the online orientation, and then we generate automatically a registration appointment for you, especially if you did the application for the current semester. So we'll fix it. Yeah, if there isn't a reg date and you feel like there should be one there, please look at this email right here. Fling me an email and I'll look into it by case basis. Yeah.
Yes, and I do want to add too, like if you've just done the orientation, it usually takes about 24 hours for it to update in your account. So if you just did it and then you want to go back and check like, oh, when's my registration date? I completed orientation. It won't show up until 24 hours later.
Right, and it won't show up for fall until about June or July, but for summer, it should be there. And if it's not there and you need one for summer, fling me an email or call enrollment.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, so Abraham is asking, does MSJC honor IB credit?
Yes. So that's great. Abraham, we don't know anything about that until you tell us. So that's the conversation you want to have with a counselor, MSJC counselor. So come in with those transcripts or those scores. We definitely can place you and maybe save you some classes. We also accept AP classes with a score of 3 or better. So great way to get ahead because it may count for a class now that you don't have to take or place you better in math and English. Yes, we do accept those. So show a counselor those scores, please.
So Sherry is asking, my son completed his orientation. He needs a counseling session for summer 2020, but the orientation is still showing outstanding. How does he schedule? So we kind of touched on that a bit.
Yeah, do the online orientation. That might be, but you can also email the front desk at that Canvas website. There's a link there, and the receptionists are Brenda or Ezzy or Mary. And I didn't think you had to do orientation to get a counseling appointment now, but they changed. So the question I'm hearing is that how does he get an appointment, but how does he do orientation? And that's through Eagle Advisor. If he needs help setting up his Eagle Advisor account, counseling will help you. Or again, there's my email address. I'll help you tomorrow morning. If you want to email me, I can call you or send you the instructions to get into Eagle Advisor to do the online orientation and meet with a counselor. But that's how to do it.
Yes. Okay.
I hope my answers aren't the big long mom answers that my kids hate. So, but trying to be thorough.
Yes, and if you have any additional questions, guys, we didn't answer all of your question. Feel free to type more in the chat here. So the next question we have is, how will I know if my son's has been accepted for the California Promise Grant or program?
Yes,
For
Eagle
fall
Advisor.
2020.
Yep, check in. Remember I said you got to activate that Eagle Advisor account, create a password, and you log into the Student Eagle Advisor menu and click on your financial aid status. There's a link there, financial aid packet or status, or I forget how it's worded, but look at financial aid. Click on that. They're updating them now. So they're working very hard to be current. If it isn't there, hey, as I said, at MSJC's website, there's an email address, or you can email me and I'll forward it. And they're pretty quick about answering those. They understand you're anxious and you want to know if you have to pad a pocket. And it will be based on whether you did the right FAFSA. So that's how to find out. It should be posted at your college portal. So for instance, my daughter goes to Cal State Fullerton. She has to log on to the Titan portal to see what her financial aid status is and get updated on what to do next. Yeah. It's really on the student to advocate. And I love that you're here advocating for yourself now and asking the questions. Thank you.
Okay. I think this will be our last one. It's kind of slowing down over here.
Okay.
So Arlen is asking what websites are good that have quizzes to find out what occupation is best for you. So I would think the Career Center would be able to help you with that one.
Yes, they have those resources and they know better than I. So I'm not dodging the question. I just don't know them off the top of my head. There's a cool website called Eureka. There's another one there. They give you kind of little quizzes. Some of them charge, some are free, that see what you're best suited for. There's one, I'm going to get it wrong. The Career Center and Counseling Center knows those websites. Again, if you want to email me, I'll try to fling you an email back with those links. But go to msjc.edu/counseling or /career and transfer center. And we do a ton of career exploration with you through all those departments. When you get to us, we will meet with you virtually, and absolutely, you can do some really neat career exploration. And I apologize, I don't know the names of the websites, but we have departments that do that, and also job developers that will work with you. I can think of our Carrie Tate Meyer. She will probably know the answer to that question. So I can get it to you if you, again, outreach at msjc.edu. I can answer it better when I get to work tomorrow. Well, I want to thank you again. I hope this was a good time. We're recording this session and we'll leave it up on YouTube for later viewing. You know, we sincerely thank you for coming. And I want to finish with a really cool quote. Teachers open the door, but you must enter by yourself. And I should have made note who that was by. I want to say, not Confucius, maybe Ben Franklin. Anyway, I love the quote. So glad, and I applaud you for joining us today. Thank you. I sincerely hope you are and remain in good health. And with that, thank you, Maricela. Thank you, Susie. And come to tomorrow's workshop at 6 o'clock, and we'll do it again, but we're going to emphasize the online application and next steps for enrollment at MSJC. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, thank you.